Yardie Belly TV video. This is the wifey, and today I'm going to be doing one of my special baking experiments. Yes, and you get to come along the journey with me. Experiment because yes, I've done this before, but I'm adding an additional ingredient that I've never, messed with before. Trying this for the very first time, and yeah. So earlier today I made some juice. I made apple kiwi lemonade. Yes, you heard it, apple kiwi lemonade. And I saw that the trash, what do you call it?
Pulp.
The pulp from the juice where I strained, it looked as if it could be edible.
Of course, it's edible in the apple.
And so this is pretty much just kiwi, apple, and ginger.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the light bulb went off in my head like, bing, bing. Where are my glasses from?
I like seeing your glasses.
I can't, this is not
You look
my
very
glasses.
studious.
I can't even see.
She's,
I can't see.
she's, no, oh, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Go on, can I help you?
Alright, so we're gonna make apple banana bread. So don't go nowhere, stick and stay, because you're gonna be interested to see how this one turned out. Alright, so up close and personal, this is what the pulp looks like from 3 Granny Smith apples to be specific, with a joint of ginger and 1 kiwi. So we have that. We have some overripe banana here, which I'm glad I'm able to utilize because I hate when they waste. They always tend to ripe faster than we can eat them, but I'm glad I can utilize them. So we're going to combine this and make this. To start, I'm going to be doing my wet ingredients, starting off with the 2 bananas. They don't look that bad. The skin look worse than it does inside. So I'm utilizing 2 of the bananas, yes, to start. And I'm going to lightly crush it. I like when it still has texture. You don't want it to be too smushed or too watery. Yeah, want it to just be roughly smashed like such. All right, so that's the first ingredient, and of course I'm going to be adding the apple mixture. Let me measure and tell you guys exactly how much of the pulp I have here. All right, so it's exactly 1 cup after I measured it. 1 cup of the apple kiwi pulp. Add that to that. And we're going to add our brown sugar. I choose to use brown sugar. Some people prefer using white sugar, but it's it's your choice. All right, so I'm adding 1/2 cup of the brown sugar, and to that I am using a 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. I mean, you can use butter. Sometimes I do use butter in my banana bread, but don't ask me why. There is no butter, so oil is perfectly fine. So I'm using a 1/2 cup of the vegetable oil. And I have 2 eggs, which I'm also adding. Bam. And I'm gonna go ahead and just mix them together. Let me get my whisk. Just whisking it around until everything is properly and thoroughly blended and the sugar is somewhat dissolved. As you can see, guys, let me show you a close-up. You're actually still seeing, little chunks of the banana, which is ideal for me. If you don't like that, then you can go ahead and make sure you smush it properly before you add the other ingredients. All right, so that is it for the wet ingredients. Well, one more thing. Let me add a little bit of vanilla. I'm just adding a capful of my Benjamin's vanilla. Of course, if you have vanilla extract, you cannot use this much because it is way more flavorful and potent than the vanilla, artificial vanilla flavoring. Yeah. Mixing our vanilla spice, and that will be all for the wet ingredient. Now to move on to my dry ingredients, guys. Right, so here I have a cup and a half of regular all-purpose flour, and I'm going to go in and add some baking powder. I'm adding a heaping tablespoon of the baking powder, yeah, because we want it to be nice, light, and fluffy. Fluffy. All right, so baking powder, check. And of course, I'm gonna spice it up as desired. I'm using these spices. You do not have to use these particular spices, but these are what, you know, I like to use. So I'm going in with just a little sprinkle of cinnamon. My pumpkin pie spice. This is even though this is traditionally a fall ingredient, I use it all year round. So sprinkle a little bit of that. Sprinkle a little bit of my ground nutmeg. And of course, you have to put a little bit of salt. So I'm gonna just put a little tip of that. Mix it all together like so. Make sure everything is thoroughly blended. And what I'm gonna do is just gently or gradually, slowly mix in the dry ingredients and add it to the wet ingredients. All right, so yeah, just pouring in a little bit at a time, mixing in as we go along. And you're gonna mix it gently. You don't want to overdo the mixing, because it does affect the outcome of the batter. Just fold it. Don't fight the batter, just fold the batter, right? Fold, fold, fold. All right, let's put in all of the rest. And just do a final mixing. And the texture looks perfect. This is your traditional, typical banana bread texture, so I'm good with that, happy about that. I'm not sure how, you know, using the pulp of the apple will affect the consistency of the bread, but I'm hoping that it doesn't make it too soft. So yeah, we are going to see together. Smell good. All right, there's one more thing that I want to add by way of spices. I like to add a tad bit of my almond extract because it works very well in baked goods. So I'm gonna go and get a little bit of that and add it to the mixture. So here we have it, our McCormick's almond flavored extract. Just put in a couple drops, maybe 7 drops. Mix that in. And while looking for that, I came across my anise extract, which is amazing in baked goods also. So of course I'm going to put a little bit of my star anise extract from the same brand. And you can't overdo it, guys. You have to put just a couple, literally a couple drops. See that? Yeah, smells so good. All right, and with that said, this is it for the batter. The next thing we're going to be doing is adding it to our baking tin and then start the baking and keep our fingers crossed. Yes. All right, so I have a lined 8-inch pan here with grease paper, and I just sprayed it with some olive oil, and now I'm gonna just pour the batter in, and we're ready to put it in our oven. And we have to leave room for the rising, so I don't want to put it up too much in case it, you know, cross over the border when it starts to rise. All right, so I like to do this. This is something that I love to do whenever I'm putting my baked goods in the oven. I like to top them with something. Usually that something is shredded coconut. So yes, I'm going to be sprinkling some shredded coconut on top, just to, you know, just to give it a nice little jazz on the top, to give it a nice golden color on the top. That's what I normally do, so I'm gonna be adding that. I know, don't come for me. Do not come for me. It's all about your own creativity and individuality. You can leave this step out of the process if you wish, or you can actually add anything that you choose, whether you want to put notes or whatever. I just think it makes it look a little bit more appealing when you put some stuff on top. Yeah. All right, enough. Well, no, one more. 2 more. 3 more. All right, guys, so that's it. Time for the oven. So let's go. All right, so another variation is that I'm using my toaster oven instead of the regular conventional oven, because I think it's more practical to use this instead of putting one small banana bread in a huge oven. I'm using this. So let's go ahead and hold on. Put it on bake. 30 minutes is okay. 350 degrees is okay. I think it takes about 20 to 25 minutes, but 30 is fine. I'll leave it on 30. Well, you know what is true? Let's go down a little bit. Let's leave it on 25 to be safe. And yeah, so the thing's set. All right, guys, so it's been I think I did it for 22 minutes on, like I said before, 350 degrees, and it's nice looking, a nice golden color. I actually did the push test, and it's nice and spongy. Yeah, so I can already tell that texture wise it should be fine. But the big thing is the tasting. So yeah, make it cool off a little bit, and then a little later on we will cut it for you guys, and we will see what lies beneath the goldenness. Look good. When I ask Christ, it look good. All right, so guys, it is just about cool, because you know we have allowed it to sit for a little bit, and I pretty much just want to go in now and just cut a slice of it so that you guys can see how it looks on the inside. Yes, so we're gonna take our knife and just cut a generous square from it. And from the looks of how easily the knife is gliding through and how it feels, I can already tell that it is super duper soft. Yeah. All right, so let's get that baby out of that pan so that you guys can see. Oh, look at that color, guys. Awesome. All right, so let me just rest it on my saucer. Yes, this is our nice slicer now for the sponge test, the taste test, the bounce test. And it definitely passed with flying colors, nice and soft to the touch. Yeah. And what we are going to do now is just, make the plate look a little bit fancy and thing. I mean, the cake on its own is fancy enough, but hey, let's dress it up a bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is take a little bit of my whipped cream. We're gonna go in with the whipped cream just to the side of the plate, to give it a little bit of a buzz. Adding that, and remember I told you guys that the pulp actually had apples and kiwi, so let's just dress it with a slice of the kiwi just to tie back in that kiwi theme. Yeah, and this is what we're working with, you guys. This is our bread, our banana apple bread, and of course banana apple kiwi bread. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to like, rate and subscribe, and of course tell a friend about Yardie TV and comment and let us know if you liked the outcome of this one. Yeah, try to your neck of the woods, and remember, live and laugh, cook and eat. Yardie TV says so. Remember me tell you.